I want to talk about Nick Calandra. Obviously, if you guys are unaware, Nick Calandra is the stunning and brave editor-in-chief over at Second Wind. Okay, now he used to work at a website called The Escapist until he eventually got fired, and he basically co-founded his own company called Second Wind, where he now makes about $54,000 a month from his Patreon. Well, at least his company does anyway. He is in the headlines a lot lately, and the reason why is because, well, he tried to essentially dox Grooms. You guys were here yesterday, I hope anyway, for the stream with Grums, which, by the way, the stream with Grums got quote tweeted and clipped so many times and put on multiple different furries Twitter pages that I had to thank every single one of them for helping me pass 43,000 subscribers today. So shout out to you guys again for continuing to help the Bigot Army grow. And you think you're doing something. That's the funny thing. If you genuinely thought you did something. You were like, we're going to own this chud. We're going to retweet and talk about how he's such a bitch because he doesn't show his face. Well, guess what? You just got this bitch another, 500 subscribers? Thank you. I appreciate you so much. So much. I may not show my face, but at least I can figure out my gender. And that's saying a lot. So with that being said, we have Nick Calandra back in the news. And Nick Calandra apparently is going back to his old ways. Now, this is information that's coming to light because of what happened with Grums. And the funny thing is, he actually ended up getting supposedly threatened to be doxxed himself, which is hilarious. I got tagged on something on Twitter, and I'm not going to show it in case it has his personal information. Somebody tagged me on potentially doxing Nick Calandra, which, listen, that's not good. You should not go dox Nick Calandra. That's not what we should be doing. But I'm not surprised that there's people out there trying to do that, you know. And when you try to attack other people as if you're on some sort of moral superiority, and you're trying to say, "Oh, well, I'm not going after Grums specifically. I'm just going after his businesses," even though you know his business is tied to him specifically. But again, it's one of those disingenuous arguments where you're trying to essentially skate the terms of service. You're not trying to get banned on Discord or anything like that. So apparently he has attacked the Sweet Baby Inc. detected creator list previously, and I figured we'd get into it since he's the topic of discussion right now. So you got, let's go down here. It says a screenshot shared from what appears to be Calandra's Second Wind Discord to the Kotaku in Action subreddit shows that Calandra posting on March 13th of 2024. And he says, "I've argued and persuaded some people to realize how stupid they're being. It can happen. But right now, these folks are just trolling. Basically trying to portray everyone that's calling them out as actual racist while they've joined a curator group that literally might as well be called I'm a Bigot." Okay. Let's just start with this. Let's start with this part, okay? I don't know how joining a Steam curator page that is based around the knowledge of a company working for another company somehow makes you a bigot. I don't understand how transparency in the gaming industry somehow makes you a bigot, right? They want to deny transparency as much as they humanly possibly can because they don't like transparency. You got to understand, and I've been saying this for months now, the mainstream gaming industry is allergic to transparency. They want to do things in the shadows. They want to do things in the shadows more than any other fucking organization out there aside from black market dealings, right? Like they are desperate to do things in the shadows. And what's happening now is that they don't have control over the mainstream narrative. They're not in control of Twitter anymore. They're not in control of whatever. You know, like it was mainly Twitter that was allowing them to kind of go unchallenged with their little narrative over there. But they don't have that anymore. And because they don't have that anymore, now what they're doing is they're resorting to old strategies that they're finding out doesn't work anymore. So when they go out there on Twitter and they're like, this person, this XYZ person is a bigot, a phobe of this and that, in the old Twitter, it would be every reply that was against it would be deboosted and hidden, right? Every reply that was for it would get ranked all the way to the top so that it would bury all the negative replies. And then now what's happening is that when they make that same exact post, not only do they get community noted, which destroys their narrative right away, but all the top comments are people that are disagreeing with them for the most part. You might have one or two agreements up there, But then you realize, no, it's actually a lot of disagreements, and they are everywhere. All kinds of people disagreeing. And that's the thing that's pissing them off because they don't have that shadow banning anymore. They don't have that shadow banning. That shit was real. That was 100% real. And people are now, after Elon Musk took it over, people now figured it out that it was real. Everybody was like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It was a conspiracy theory. It's not real. There's no such thing as a shadow ban. Remember when they said that? Well, apparently there was. It was 100% a thing called the shadow ban. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if Twitter right now was owned by the same regime in 2024 in an election year? Can you fucking imagine what they would be doing right now? Nobody. You wouldn't be hearing from any of us. You literally would not be able to even see our content. I guarantee you we would be all getting banned. Every single one of us would be getting banned. It would be insane. It would be the most suppression we've ever seen by far. And that's saying something because 2020 was wildly suppressed. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this guy thinks that he calling someone a bigot is going to make them run away and hide when little do they know, we just embrace that shit at this point. If you think we are bigots because we have a difference of opinion, then guess what? I will be whatever version of a bigot you want me to be. Sign me up. Let's do it. Now, here's the best part, okay? And this is the part that good old Johnny Boy likes to do a lot of the time. So what they like to do is pretend as if they are the toughest people on the internet. They like to pretend as if they are so unbelievably tough, and then they call you a coward if you don't show your face, when honestly the hardest thing to do is not to fight someone. The hardest thing to do is to have a public conversation where two sides of an aisle can look at you and judge your conversation openly and on the fly, not scripted or anything like that. That's the actual difficult thing to do. Showing up and fighting each other is the easiest fucking thing to do. And if you are basing your masculinity in the fact that you can fight someone, congratulations, you are still a bitch. It doesn't matter. Your argument is still nothing. It doesn't matter. You can't speak to someone. You can't actually have a conversation. You can't actually fight for what you say you believe in because you're too busy sucking the dick of a strap-on that Alyssa Mercante is currently railing you with. So it doesn't matter. But let's see what someone like Nick Calandra says, and then we'll tie it all in together. Here we go. He says he also wrote, I had to do my research before taking over the escapists. Yeah, I highly doubt that because there's no such thing as a gaming urinalist and research, but that's besides the point. The majority of this stuff is coming from the same dweebs that, again, dweebs, really? Like, what are you, fucking 12? That run the Kotaku in Action subreddit. And sometimes I'm more than happy to let people from that subreddit know that nobody will ever love them. Let's stay right there for a second, okay? I want to make something very clear. And I don't think that these people understand the hypocrisy that's going on right now, okay? And I'm going to explain the level of hypocrisy that comes from people like Nick Calandra and comes from people like good old Johnny Boy, okay? What do these two kinds of people do all the time, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me in the chat. What are they? They're a male what? What are they? Male starts with an F. They are male. Let's see what the chat says. Let's see if you guys can guess it. What are they? What are they? Male what? Some of the chat is saying, let's see, fascist? No, not fascist. Yes. Fajitas? No. No, not fajitas. They are male feminists. They are 100% male feminists, okay? So why am I bringing up the fact that they are male feminists? Well, let me explain. Male feminists will try to pretend as if they are on the side of women, right? They'll try to pretend as if everybody else is a sexist. They sexualize women. They treat women like objects. They use women, blah, 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 right? Well, I find it absolutely incredible. Okay, I find it incredible that people like Nick Calandra, or especially good old Johnny Boy, people like Johnny Boy, the first thing they do when they want to try to own you, right? The first thing they do is they say, well, at least I felt the titty before. Or, hey, at least I have sex. Or, hey, yeah, you'll never know what a pussy feels like. And I have to sit back and I have to wonder, this is very interesting. So good old Johnny Boy, Mr. I'm a male feminist Johnny Boy, they're the first ones to treat women like objects when they're trying to own a chud. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that very interesting? Like you are treating women as objects. You're talking about how much you fuck. You're talking about how much you touch titties and all that stuff. Like you are treating women as objects, and yet you want to claim and simp as if you are a male feminist. Why is it that that is allowed? Why are you allowed to treat women like objects all the time? It's just kind of strange to me. I don't even think you even realize that you're doing it. Every time you make that argument about, well, I fuck bitches. Really? That's interesting. Tell me more, male feminists. Tell me more about how you see women as equals and not beneath you and all that stuff. Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more how you definitely don't use them as a notch on your belt, or tell me more how you don't use them as a medal, to compare to your other men. Yeah, tell me more how you're definitely not one of those guys in the locker room who talks about every bitch you have sex with. Tell me how much of a male feminist you are again. Please tell me. So again, this whole thing is a fucking joke coming from these people. And this is why they don't ever want to have a conversation. They're too busy trying to swing. Now, here's the best part. In another message, he wrote, some folks in my replies being like, wow, that was mean. And I'm like, yeah, these are the kinds of people that if they said any of this stuff to me at a bar, I would be more than happily get kicked out for knocking them out.